end things. So let's bring it on the screen because you know what? I did mention it. And before I move on to baseball, get a few thoughts on spring training. Those New York Knicks, the Brute Force, Brad Weiss, they do have 4 wins in a row. They are no longer in playing position. And it looks like right now, you know what? They're on a run, and it's that time. It's Dolan time. So the Brute Force, Brad Weiss, fire away.
You know, Tom, this is going to be a rough segment for me because, you know, you said fire away. Normally that means I go crazy. I start talking about what the Knicks can't do, what how bad they are.
Listen, remember a couple years ago during COVID, you were going crazy when they were over 500. Yeah, why not?
You know what? You know what? This is what I'll say, all right? You know, we could still stay seated, but, you know, we can get on our tippy toes. We can start getting a little excited, all right? Because I actually think the New York Knicks are showing us that they can be a team that does not participate in the play-in. You know, they got a nice win today. Once again, they were down, but they came back. Julius Randle had 46 points. He's playing like an all-star, and every time I say he should be traded, he keeps playing better. So let me say it again. All right, he should be traded, all right? But he's going to keep playing better, I guess. He can't get traded, obviously, now because the trade deadline, as Justin said, has passed. But on a serious note, he's playing all-star basketball. He's been terrific. You know, Brunson, who didn't even have a great game today, had a big layup at the end of the game to put them up by 3, I believe. And listen, they just, as a team, are playing very well. You know, the Josh Hart trade looks very good right now. He's
haven't lost since Josh Hart became a Knick, Brad. They haven't lost.
Yeah, no, he's playing good basketball. I mean, you got guys like, you know, R.J. Barrett didn't even finish the game today. I mean, they finished with guys like Quickly, who's been playing well, Grimes, who's been playing well. So they got a lot of answers, Tom. You know, I think that the Knicks just showing us things. And I know that Carlos Arturo Chavez said fire Tibbs. All right, but right now he's coaching really well. And I can't say he can't. He's not because they're winning games. They're competing. And listen, you know, Justin Gianelli's Nets, after a really, really rough loss today, and really just, I don't know what happened to their offense. And we all know that the offense is the biggest question with the Nets. Like, where are they getting it from? I mean, if the Nets look like this more often than not, the New York Knicks might, and I cannot even believe I'm going to say this, might finish as the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference.
I'll tell you what, they ain't far behind the 4th seed either. I wouldn't say they're that far behind.
I mean, they're not behind. They're far behind the Cavaliers. So yeah, I'm starting to, you know, change my tone a little bit, Tom. Always, you know, negative. I'm starting to get positive again. You know, the New York Knicks are impressing me. The New York Knicks are playing good basketball, and they're not, you know, a pushover. They're competing. They're going. And I want to see, by the way, a big game coming up on Monday. They're playing the Celtics at the Garden. I'd really like to see how they compete in that game because they did give the Celtics a good game in Boston before the All-Star break.
They beat them in Boston. Anthony Finkel and I were watching that game. That was the second to last time I went to
I mean, that right now is the best team in the Eastern Conference. So, listen, again, I'm optimistic right now in the Knicks. I so badly want to get on James Dolan, but right now the Knicks are doing the right things. They're 7 games over 500, and right now they're looking really good to not participate in that play-in tournament.
I think the word to use before we get to some more comments is cautiously optimistic, meaning that you're confident, but cautiously optimistic. Kind of like how I viewed the Mets season. That's like you, cautiously optimistic, because the schedule is still tough. No, the schedule is tough.
No, it is.
We have the Nets on Wednesday, have Boston. Listen, isn't even the Pelicans is going to be no pushover, and you're going to have the Kings. You're going to be on the road with the Clippers and the Lakers, and you're going to have Denver still. You got some tough games. So there's no question that the Knicks have a lot of tough games coming up here. And let me get to some more comments here as we finished out Dolan time, and certainly a rather tame, one of the more tame Dolan times here. I think the Brute Force has had a very, very long time here. Joey Bosham also wants to remind me Mitchell Robinson came back today.
That's true as well.
Carlos Arturo Chavez would like to add coaching, while Tibbs is just playing younger players, which he should have done.
I mentioned that earlier. I said that, you know, he finally decided to play younger players, and it's paying dividends. Thank God he finally figured that out.
All right, and before I get to baseball here, which I want to talk about baseball because spring training, obviously, season is starting, and if you don't need players, cut them and get